sorting rows. You may have noticed in the preceding examples that the result rows are displayed in no particular order. It is often easier to examine query output when the rows are sorted in some meaningful way. To sort a result, use an order by clause, so we're going to use the order by. Here are animal birthdays sorted by date, so we are going to go into our terminal, and you can go into your MySQL terminal. I'm gonna go my Windows PowerShell and just gonna type in, it's gonna be MySQL -u, it's gonna be root -p, so it's gonna prompt us for the password, so you just type in your password. And now we are inside of MySQL, so we are gonna use the database. It's gonna be menagerie like this. And now you can see show tables, and we can see that it's gonna have the pet table. So right now what we are gonna do is we are gonna type in select, and it's gonna be, we're gonna select the name. The name is gonna be in lowercase. We're gonna select also the birth, and we are selecting it from the table pet, and we are order it, so order by, and we're gonna order it by birth, and we're gonna end this statement with a semicolon. So select name birth from the table pet, and we're gonna order by birth. And as you can see, we have Buffy is gonna be 1989, Bowser 1989, Fan 1990, Bluffy 1993. Okay, so the name, okay, so we have two columns, the column name and the column birth from the table pet, and we are ordering it by birth. So that is that. On character type columns, sorting, like all other comparison operations, is normally performed in a case insensitive fashion. This means that the order is undefined for columns that are identical except for their case. You can force a case sensitive sort for a column by using binary, like so. So here we have order by binary. Here we have column underscore name. The default sort order is ascending with smallest values first. To sort in reverse descending order, we have to add the descend keyword to the name of the column you are sorting by. So we can go into to MySQL here, into our terminal, and I'm just gonna go into my keyboard, and I'm gonna press the page up, the arrow up key, and I just have the previous statement that it has pretty much is still in my laptop, in my terminal. So we have select name birth from the table pet, and we are gonna order it by birth, but we are gonna add this particular word, this DESC, so it's gonna be descent, so it's gonna be the same. Select name birth from the table pet, and we are gonna order by birth, but the sign is gonna be descending in descending order. So we're gonna press enter, and as you can see, well, I changed this sling in a previous video, so but now it's in descending order. So as you can see, the first one is 1999, and the last one is gonna be 1999. So it's going in descending order. Again, Chirpy is 1998, Whistler is 1997. So that is that, using the descending order. You can sort on multiple columns, and you can sort different columns in different directions. For example, to sort by type of animal in ascending order, then by birthday within animal type in descending order, youngest or the youngest animals first, use the following query. So let's try it out. Okay, this is the terminal here, so let's try it out. So we're gonna type in, okay, so we're gonna type in select. Okay, so we're gonna select the name, species is gonna be birth, and we're gonna select it from the table pet. So okay, so we're gonna be selecting three columns, name, species, and birth, and it's gonna be from the table pet. To the next line, we're gonna order it, so it's gonna be order by, like this, and we're gonna order it by species and also birth. Okay, let me type it right, birth, and it's gonna be in descending order. And okay, this descending order, and you have to type in your semicolon at the end. And as you can see, we have, let's make it bigger. So we have three columns here. So we have the name column, the species, and birth. And as you can see here, so Chirpy is the first one. The species is Chirpy and Whistler are birds, and the birthday are 1998 and 1997, as you can see here. So we are ordered by a species and also by the birth, but it's in descending order, so it's gonna be from the higher value to lower value. In this case, this is 1998, then it's gonna go to 1997. Then we're gonna have Close and Fluffy, that are cats, and again it's gonna go in descending order, 1994, 1993, and then we're gonna have three dogs, that is gonna be Fan, Bowser, and Buffy. And also we're gonna go 1990, 1989, and 1989 again, but with different mounts. So that is that for the select for the order by and with descend. Okay, the descend or the descending keyword applies only to the column name immediately preceding birth. It does not affect the species column sort order. So we saw that here in the MySQL example. So let's move up to the next. So we have date calculations. MySQL provides several functions that you can use to perform calculations on dates. For example, to calculate ages or extract parts of dates. To determine how many years old each of your pets is, use the timestamp differential or just diff with parentheses function. Its arguments are the unit in which you want the result expressed and the two dates for which to take the difference. The following query shows for each pet the birthday, the current date, and the age in years. The alias in parentheses age is used to make the final output column label more meaningful. So let's try it out. Let's see what we have here. So let's go here into MySQL and we're gonna type in select. We're gonna select the name, we're gonna select the birth, and also we are gonna select, let me see, an uppercase letter, card date, and open close parentheses. We are gonna separate it again, this card date with a comma. We're gonna go to the next line, we're gonna type in time. Okay, it's gonna be time stamp and diff or difference, open close parentheses, and inside we're gonna have an uppercase letters year, comma, separated by a comma. We're gonna have birth, and also we are gonna have, let me see, we are gonna have card date, open close parentheses, and outside of the parentheses of the timestamp diff, we're gonna type in as, and then we're gonna type in age, and now we're gonna type in from the table pet, and finally we're gonna end up this whole statement with a semicolon. And as you can see, let me see if we can move it. Let's see, maybe you can, if I make it like this, you can see it better. Let me see. Okay, so we have 4 columns: name, birth, card date, and age. So we have the same here in our terminal Windows PowerShell: name, birth, card date, and age. And the name is gonna be Bluffy, is 1993, and the card date is gonna be 2000. Okay, in my appears. Okay, current date in my appears 2023, July 11. This is the current day, so this is different from the current day of this when they were writing this article in the MySQL documentation. And let me see, what else do we have here? So we have the age is gonna be 30. So in this article was 10, obviously, so it was 20 years ago. Okay, so we have also close, we have Buffy, Fan, Bowser. And it's pretty much, you can see the birthday, the current date, and then the age. So the age for close is, in this article, was 9, and my terminal is 29 since I'm using card date or the current date. So let's move on. The query works, but the result could be scanned more easily if the rows were presented in some order. This can be done by adding an order by name, so order by name clause to sort the output by name. So let's check it out. And again, I'm gonna try, and this time I'm gonna press in my keyboard the page up. So well, you can press it again. Not this one, not this one. It's gonna be order by, it's gonna be select, it's gonna be this one. You can also press your keyboard the arrow down, so it's gonna be select name, birth, and card date. So okay, so since I didn't put the whole statement in one single line, so the only line that it has pretty much in the memory is just select name, birth, and card date. So that's pretty much it. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go to my next line, and again I can pretty much play around here. Let me see if I have it. Okay, so I have it. So it's gonna be time, okay, timestamp. So let's move it here. It's gonna be timestamp div. It's gonna be the year, the birth, the card date as age, and let's go to the next line. And next time it's gonna be from, let me see if I have it, from pet. I just have pet, from pet. Okay, but now it's gonna be order by name, so I'm gonna add order by name, and you just press enter. Okay, so you have an error in your SQL syntax. Let me see, from pet. Okay, yeah, I think it's pretty much, it's better if I, okay, so select name, date, there was timestamp as age, and then this one from pet. Okay, didn't order. Okay, order by name, order by name, like this, and then we end up with a semicolon. Let's see if this is fine. From pet, order by name. So let's press enter, let's see what happens. Okay, so sometimes it's better just to type it in. Okay, so we have 4 columns: name, birth, current date, and age. And again, we have this time the difference is that we are ordered by name. So the first one are Bowser and Buffy, so they are starting with B, and the last ones are Sling and Whistler. So Sling is started with the letter S and Whistler with the letter W. The day birth of Bowser is 1989. The current day obviously is today, that is the year 2023. I mean 2023, and the month is July, and the day is the 11th. So the age would be 33 in my case, because it's the current day, but in this particular article it was 20 years ago, so the age is gonna be 13 in this particular article. And if we go to the last one, Whistler, so the birth is gonna be 1997, the current day is, as like I said, and okay, obviously it's gonna be 25, and we're gonna subtract 20 years, so, and this article is 5, so that is that. To sort the output by age rather than name, just use a different order by clause. So let's try it out, this example too. So let's move it here, and again I'm just gonna type it in this time. So select name. Okay, so it's gonna be birth. We're gonna select the name, we're gonna select the birth, the current date, so it's gonna be current date, open close parentheses, comma, next line, and we're gonna type in timestamp div. We're gonna open close parentheses, and inside of this parentheses we're gonna type in year, comma, we're gonna separate it by a comma, so it's gonna be birth, open close comma, and again the current date, open close parentheses, and it's gonna be as age. Okay, as age, and it's gonna be from the table pet. From the table pet is gonna be order by age. So this time it's gonna be order by age. So, and then we need to, I mean, if I don't put a semicolon, you know what's gonna happen. So, and this is what we have. So okay, so we're gonna start with chirpy. since Chirpy is 24 years old in my case, but in this case it's just 4 years old, so they are starting with the youngest one. So here, select name, birth, the current date, timestamp, as age, and we are selecting it from the table pet, and we are ordering it by age, so they are ordering from the youngest to the oldest. So Chirpy is in my terminal is still the youngest with 24 years, so this is the reason Chirpy is the first one and Buffy is the last one, because in my terminal his current age is 34. So that's how we do it. Okay, so a similar query can be used to determine age at death for animals that have died. You determine which animals these are by checking whether the death value is null. Then for those with non-null values, compute the difference between the death and birth value. So let's try it out. Let me see, select name there. Okay, I'm gonna try it now with my keyboard. I'm gonna press the page up. Let me see, it's gonna be select. Okay, I'm selecting name and birth and also selecting the current date, and I'm putting a comma here. And okay, so but I don't want the current date, I just want after the birth, I want death. Then I put a comma, and now I'm gonna have this time stamp. Okay, so I'm gonna have this time stamp div, and I'm gonna have the year, the birth, and instead of the current date I'm gonna have in death, so I'm gonna have in death as age. Okay, and I'm gonna have him from the table pet, and now I'm just gonna delete this part and just gonna type it in where from the table pet where death, and I mean it's better to mix it up. From is gonna be uppercase, the table it has to be in lowercase, where is a clause, so that is the reason I'm typing in uppercase letters. Death is in lowercase, and now we're gonna use in uppercase it's not null, so like this, it's not null, and then we're gonna order it by, and it's gonna be by age, and then we're gonna press enter. So let me see what else. Let me see. Okay, so select name, birth, and death, and here we have the timestamp differentiate, year, birth. Oh, that is the reason from paid by age. So okay, so it's giving me this. Okay, Fluffy is null, Close is null, Buffy is null, and Fang is also null, and Bowser is the only one with 5 years. So let me see, let's try it again. I think I messed it up using here birth with upper case, but let's try it again. So it's gonna be select name. Okay, select name, birth, and death. Okay, so now we're gonna use the timestamp div, and instead of just okay, so here we're gonna have the year, and it's gonna be birth, and then it's gonna be just death as age. Okay, so we have that, and then we're gonna use in from the table pet where death is not null, order by age. So let's try it in. Okay, so it's giving me it again, it's throwing me these results, and Bowser is the only one, of course, that we have 5, but it's still giving me this Fluffy, Close, Buffy, Ben, Chirpy, Whistler, null. So that is that. The query uses death is not null rather than death, and we open angle brackets null, because null is a special value that cannot be compared using the usual comparison operators. This is discussing later, so we can check out the working with null values. What if you want to know which animals have birthdays next month? For this type of calculation year and they are irrelevant, you simply want to extract the month part of the birth column. MySQL provides several functions for extracting parts of days, such as year, month, and day of month. That month is the appropriate function here. To see how it works, run a simple query that displays the value of both birth and month. and month inside the parentheses birth. So let's try it out. Let's type it in. Let me see. So I'm gonna type in select. We're gonna select the name. We're gonna select the birth, and okay, separate by a comma. In uppercase letter, we're gonna have the month. So inside of this month, we're gonna have a parenthesis. Inside of the parenthesis, we're gonna pass in the birth and lowercase letters. So uppercase letter now from is gonna be from the table bit. So we end up this statement with a semicolon. Press enter. And as you can see here, we have Fluffy 1993, and month birth is gonna be 2. Close is gonna be 1994. It's gonna be 3. So we select 3 columns this time: name, birth, and the month, and we are selecting it from the table bed. So this is how we are doing it right now. So that is that. Now finding animals with birthdays in the upcoming month is also simple. Suppose that the current month is April, then the month value is 4, and you can look for animals born in May, month 5, like this. So let's try it in. So here, let me see. We have select name, birth, and what else do we have here? We're gonna select it from the table bed. Where, so it's gonna be where the month, like this, where the month, open close parentheses, we're gonna pass in birth, and it's gonna be equal to 5. So we're gonna end up this statement with a semicolon. So we're looking for May, so we have January, February, March, April, and May. May would be 5. And we have Buffy, that is in the the year is 1999, but the month is gonna be 5. That is gonna be March. January, February, March, April, May. I mean May. So that is that. What else do we have here? So you can try it out. You can try another example. Instead of 5, we can play, I don't know, 4. So we will have Slim, that is in April. Now we can place in 3, that will be March this time, so it will be close. Let's do 1, 2 for February. So we have Fluffy, and let's see if we have one for so we don't have nothing for January. Let's try it for number 6. Also it's empty. There is a small complication. If the current month is December, you cannot merely add 1 to the month number, so that'll be 12, and look for animals born in month 13, because there is no such a month. Instead, you look for animals born in January month 1. You can write a query so that it works no matter what the current month is, so that you do not have to use the number for a particular month. So we have the date add, and then the parentheses enables you to add a time interval to a given date. If you add a month to the value of the current date, then extract the month part with the month function. The result produces the month in which to look for birthdays. So let's try it out. We're gonna use the select statement. So we're gonna select the name, we're gonna select the birth, and it's gonna be from the table pet. Where, so it's gonna be where the month, we're gonna pass in this time birth, it's gonna be equal to month, and inside of the month we're gonna have a parenthesis. Inside of the parenthesis we're gonna have in the date, it's gonna be date underscore add, and open close parentheses we're gonna have the current day, like this, current day, open close parentheses, and outside of the current day we're gonna type in the interval. It's gonna be interval, and it's gonna be 1, and then we're gonna have in month. So let's make it a little bigger here, or extend it. So again, we're gonna have the month, we're gonna have the date underscore add, we are gonna have this parentheses with the current date, the interval 1, and then month. And finally, we're gonna end this statement with a semicolon. So let's see what happens. Press enter, and we're gonna have fan and Bowser. So let me see. Okay, so the interval, we're gonna have fan, that is gonna be in the 1990, and the month is gonna be August, so it's gonna be 8. So it's gonna be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So then again, select name, birth. So these two columns from the table pet, where the month, where the, let me see, where the birth. Okay, so where the month, and we're passing in the birth is equal to the month, and then we're using date underscore add, and then we're using the current day, the interval +1. So the reason what we are seeing 8 is because right now we are in, well, today is 2023 July 11. So I'm giving it first year, so 2023, then July, and then the 11. So the month is July, so it's 7. So here I'm putting interval 1 month, so it's giving me 1 plus 7, that is 8. So the month 8 is August, so that is the case here. A different way to accomplish the same task is to add 1 to get the next month after the current one, after using the module or the modulo function, the mod, the mod, to wrap the month value to 0 if it is currently 12. So let's try them. So we're gonna have select the name, the birth from the table pet, and now let's try this. So let's try this one. Okay, so it's not okay. So where the month, we have the month, and inside of the parentheses we're passing the birth, and it's equal to, let's delete this part and let's just type it in. So it's gonna be set to the mod, open parentheses, and then we're gonna pass in the month, open parentheses again. We're gonna have the current date. Okay, the current day, open close parentheses for the current date, and let me see. Okay, outside of that we're gonna have 12, and outside of that we're gonna type in 1, and then our semicolon. So we have the mod, and we're gonna have inside of the parentheses of the mod, we're gonna have the month. We're gonna have parentheses inside of the parentheses of the month. We're gonna have the current day, open close parentheses, and as a second argument of the mod we're gonna have the number 12. So press enter, and we're gonna have fan and Bowser. So pretty much it's the same as the above. They're giving us the month August, since our current month as of this video is we are shooting it in July 11. So that is the reason that they're giving us this month 1 month after July, that is August. Okay, so now what else do we have here? Month returns a number between 1 and 12, and mod is something, okay, 12. So we're using here the mod something 12. So the something is pretty much the current date, and then 12 returns a number between 0 and 11. So the addition has to be after the mod, otherwise we will go from November to January. If a calculation uses invalid dates, the calculation fails and produces warning. So let's try them. And okay, so let me see. I'm gonna move here, so it's gonna be a select. It's gonna be select, open and close single quotes, and it's gonna be 2018, and it's gonna be the month is gonna be October, and the date is gonna be the 31. Okay, outside of the single quotes we're gonna pass in a plus sign, so interval, and then it's gonna be 1. So it's gonna be day, and then single quotes. So let's see what happens. And let me see what else do we have. Interval. I mess it up here, so let's try them. And we have 2018 11, that is November, and then the day is gonna be the first one. So the reason is because here in the previous example, or here in the example, I'm giving the number to the year 2018, the month is going to be October, and then the day is going to be 31. So in the calendar in October we only have 31, we don't have 32, obviously. So now we're outside of the single quote, we're concatenating, or we having this plus sign, interval 1 day, so we're adding 1 day. So instead of just October, we're gonna have November, and it's not gonna be, it's not okay. The day after the 31 of October is November 1st. So that is the reason that the number appears 2018 1101. So now let's try another example. So let's try this incoherent example as the day 32. Obviously we don't have that, so instead of just 31, we're gonna type in 32, and again it's pretty much the same. So select 2018 October 32, interval 1 day. Let's press enter, and we have null, so they're throwing us a null error, so because it doesn't exist. Okay, and now we're gonna put in, so let's see our error. So show warning, so yes, it's gonna be show and then warnings like this, semicolon. And okay, so let's see. Okay, 12, okay, they're giving us a code 1292, incorrect date. Okay, daytime value, so 2018 1032, so that is an incorrect value. And okay, so they're giving us this code, and yeah, so this is the warning that they are throwing at us.